Good evening, everyone. Hello, I'm one of us. Hello, Cheap Dog and the Rise Revenge. Hey, Joe. Hello, Matthew. Check my message to you. yeah, so you saw. Hello, Gidget, Frank. Salut Robin. Afternoon, Sydney. Mr. Zosh, Zeba. Hello, Barry. Yeah. The problem is solved for now. Hello, Zelvia. Grass. Hello. Hello, Bernd. Thank you for the early support to the stream. 2 weeks without the regular one. It's very welcome. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully. Salut Greg. Hello Mauricio. Hello Joe, how are you doing? Congratulations on your entrance into the VC. Check out Joe's channel, he just did his first video. What's up everyone? Hello, I'm the Dead. You're welcome. The picture, that's Claudette Colvin, who passed away a couple of weeks ago. Not even. The real McCoy. Claudette is the original Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks got the fame, but Claudette started the movement. Hello Millennium Mambo. Paul, how are you doing? Hello everyone. Hello Herc. Hello Stéphane. Anthony Rioux. Hello William Murray. Hello Artnulart. What did we start with, huh? We started with the first record by this band called Shirtless, Empty Powers. This was released on Downwards, Regis label. So normally a sort of techno, industrial post-punk label, started with the roots in techno. What was this? I don't know. Zeb liked the krautrock element of it. I didn't see that. For me it was a sort of an industrial post-punk, but I guess it can be whatever you want. Who cares? That was just like really stark and cool, grungy, harrowing. Music of our time, I would say, isn't it? Vintage Vonnie Yvonne? Hello 4D Man. Hello Dom, how are you doing? It's good so far, isn't it? So yeah, sorry for the past 2 weeks that technical issues created a technical stream. Thank you Robin for leaving a nice tip in the coffee jar as well, merci beaucoup. I'll need it because like there's been so many new rabbit holes in the past few weeks. A lot of stuff I can't wait to introduce you. But tonight already, I can tell you, we're gonna listen to a record that, to my ears, to my mind, to my culture, sounds like a sort of palette cleanser in a massive way. Like maybe the best record I've heard, or the most important record I heard in a long, long time. And I am talking decade, potential decades. So I'm quite excited for tonight. But we'll always have like little fun stuff like this band Shirtless. I know none of them. It's apparently from Chicago, so just a cool little thing. It was released in late November, I believe. I think it's sold out, but like if you liked it, you know the deal. Arlo, how you doing? Ah ben oui, hein. Hello Daniel, early Daniel, always a good sign. Yeah, it's cold now. It's the coldest Friday I've had in a long time. And as we introduce calmly the mood of tonight, I mean there'll be several moods as usual, I thought I'd play that little record that I guess also completely under the radar. So this is a duo of Raine-Reush and Michael Red. The record is called Whereas. I'll try to give you the links, Discogs or Bandcamp if I can. The previous record. Here it is. But this one, I don't remember exactly what put that one on my map. But I'm sure happy I did go towards it. So electronics and various instruments from Japan, Uganda, Korea, Java, Bali, Burma, China. Cover is not necessarily the most appealing one. I mean, there's an idea behind it, but like, it doesn't stick out in the shop necessarily. But I really like that little track, and the whole album is good. So yeah, in these past 2 weeks with no proper stream, guess what? I found quite a lot of stuff. And of course, there's always the shelves to rely on. But I guess no one will be surprised by that. But yeah, today we'll go in many different directions. Maybe a sort of like, well, we always end up in psychedelia one way or another, but maybe we'll listen to more songs tonight. Hello DJ Mr. Joel, how you doing? Yeah, exactly. You got it. Nothing to be humble about, Fluid Power 43. welcome tonight. Yeah, it's the kind of record, the more time I spend with it, the more layers of how global our listening can be. The way I sold my records online on my Discogs, global is probably the biggest section now with post-industrial. Imagine that, like, yeah, my biggest sections in my collections are global music and post-industrial. Well, and with some layers of sweetness, huh? How about that? Has anyone seen Thomas? Thomas Corcoran usually is early here, huh? That record I just played, Canadian release 2023.
Hard to walk, hard to breathe in a mask. A 40-pound weight on his back, so he follows the song. The lark and the swift lead him on. The stone chap, the wren lead him on. The shrike.
There's also this category of pop d'orfèvre, jewelry pop, jeweler. This is a little band that had an LP a few years ago, quite nice, and they reworked a couple of their songs. This is Oddfellows Casino, which was released on Heaven's Lathe, so a pretty small pressing, or cutting of 100 copies. The Rooks and the Crows. Both tracks are really nice. This is just pop, modern pop. Eerie. And every now and then that's one of the colors we want in the sky.
On a cliff's early breeze.
Hello Fred, how are you doing?
And the gulls
Eh, well, she did on the US, so she did on the world, so she did on every one of us, I would say.
Slips from the edge to be free.
Oh well, you might get your wish. Yeah, kind of proggy, but without any demonstration here.
The greed, the stork lead him on.
Salut Magic Berber.
The turn, the
Yeah. Hello Giku. How you doing? Hello Chris. Thank you Manuel Gaucho for leaving a tip in the coffee jar. That label, Heaven Slave, has released some stuff by former members of Coil, of Throbbing Gristle. They release also hip hop. Just a cool little label. And here it is. I think there's still some copies available on their Bandcamp. Let me see. Woohoo. Yep. And here's how you get a 100 copy limited edition record for £10. Cheers, Daniel. I did go through a lot of ordeals, like buying new cables, servicing the sound card, doing a lot of stuff basically, which I'm not even sure is the reason why it's back on track. Hello Joe, how you doing? Now, one of very impressive record from the end of last year. Because yeah, we definitely passed the calendar now, didn't we? And yet I'm still discovering tons of stuff from 2026. Oh, maybe not tons, but like quite a few. This is the second album by Red Yassin, Eternal Ghost. On Fourth Sounds. His first album was really impressive. I mean, he's been playing in different formations that have been featured here over the past few years. But this was announced last summer and took a while to get released and even a little more to reach me. But here it is. We do. Hello Max, how you doing? So that record should still be available on Bandcamp and on various online shops, maybe even your local one. But until then, you can also start to research it a little bit here. Yeah, it just grows in intensity. There's 2 long form tracks on this. We're listening to the second side, Eternal Ghost. mastered by Rashad Becker. Raed Yassin is from Beirut. He's a double bass player originally. So he's part of the Pred orchestra, which we played a month ago or so. His album from 2021 on Acophone, Archaeophony, was the high point of the year. And this, even if I discovered this in 2026, this is why I don't do best of lists at the end of the year. Hello KS, how you doing? Yeah. That's the understatement of the year. The year is early. Lots of contrasting sounds there, almost colliding. Yeah, this is music that will put you, that will keep you in focus, for sure. And maybe induce something as well. Hello, Reg Pro. Schlager. Well, we'll have our version of Schlager, for sure. Why not? Hello, Thomas. Wow. Well, I think we're at -5 right now. -6, something like that. Yeah. I guess we're getting there for sure. Now for something exceptional. I guess I'll be quite laudative tonight. Not many records I don't feel strongly about tonight. Here's the insert for the Raid Yassine. Now put your volume up if you can. Hello Baleric, how you doing? Well, we're all there, I guess, in the northern hemisphere. Hey, sad bums, how you doing? Good evening, Raine-Reush, how you doing? Let the music speak for itself a little more than usual with this. Cheers, Joe. Let me know about the playback, about the watching back. There'll be some stuff for you there.
Jamais ce tel ne l'est.
you feel the goosebumps? Hello, Greg. Hello, Michael.
Hi, hello, Christian. How are you?
Michael?
Michael is fine. It's just fine.
So, I don't know if you can see, but this brings tears to my
I see
eyes.
that. I see that. It's very, very moving. Thank you. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, well,
I'm moved. Yeah. Thank you.
A little while ago, as I do, every day I listen to everything that's coming out. I use a lot of Soundome and other venues. I'm also subscribed to a lot of Bandcamp pages. And at one point, I think I saw your album, and I kind of, for some reason, I put it aside. I didn't get to listen to it instantly.
Yeah.
And then I went on Bandcamp because it was released in October or something like that, September, October.
Yeah, end of September, 29th
Yeah.
of September. Yeah.
And then I was just, as I do, going quickly through the tracks. Now I'm mimicking the needle, but I was doing that on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
And towards the end, I mean, the first track, I thought like very casually, interesting. And then I got to what we were listening to, and I was like, okay, I'm going to listen more to that. And came to the end of the track, or somewhere towards the end.
Yeah.
And this is it. This is fantastic. I need this in my life. This is basically touching on so many things that I try to promote here. Not necessarily just the music, but the ideas of an ongoing dialogue between the past, the present, the future, between cultures, between something very emotional, very primal, and also something very intellectual.
Yeah. Yes, that's it. It's a black box.
Yeah.
Not the black album. Yeah. You reach something very deep, because what I try to reach since I am a child, in fact, first by listening to music and discovering arts, and then by making or producing music myself, is trying to find a place where we can find a kind of a very primordial thing that could connect all of us on Earth, like beyond our history or the wars. Our thing is that I always had this kind of obsession in me that was, there must be a place in music that where you can reach very deep layers of the being and whatever religion or no religion you have. It's not like in a way in a kind of a mystical or spiritual thing, but it's always a very kind of grounded thing, very empirical. It's like, and I always had this thing that when music touched something deep, it touches the world and even nature. So that's on my modest level. I always been struggling to find something, and yeah, and maybe sometimes I find some little things, but it took me a while to come to this album, notably. Yeah.
So I have you here talking about that album.
Yeah.
What we listen to
Yeah.
is not exactly your music, though.
No, it's not exactly my music. The music you have heard is a composition by a 14th century French composer called
So
Guillaume.
13th century for Anglo-Saxons.
14.
1340 something.
Yeah, for the 1300s, absolutely. And the composer is Guillaume de Machault, whom was a very one of the great composers of the 14th century in Europe and in France, and it's classified as Ars Nova music, so it's a kind of, at the time, kind of a new music thing. And but he was very famous for his polyphonic music, so music composed for several voices at the time, and generally it was religious music. And one piece of him is very well known, is the Mass of Notre Dame, La Messe Notre Dame,
When
which
Notre Dame was built, like he composed the music for the inauguration, right?
Not exactly. No, that's not the story, because it was about Notre Dame in Reims, not in Paris.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And but
I
generally
tried.
people are making the mistake, because the music is so very erratic, and they think that it was something for the inauguration or for the coronation of kings, etc., etc. But he composed this mass at the end of his life. So it was more like a kind of a testament of. But it is for the connoisseur, or for the people who knows about this music, he is very famous for the polyphonic music. But there is one repertoire in his works that are very rarely explored, which is the monodic repertoire, which is just songs basically with one melody. And there was especially, so he composed some songs, so little songs, so very little tunes that you can sing in 2 or 3 minutes, called the virelai. So it was like the people were dancing, making a round dance. But there was one repertoire he composed called the lay. So in English it was Lay. So it is a very old form of poetry, and quite a very long form of poetry. So yeah, we can see one page of the manuscript from the 14th century where there is the music, the beginning of the music. And the thing is that the piece is has a lot of verse. Actually, it has 24 verse, and each verse is quite long when you sing it, because there is quite a lot of melodies, and so that makes these poems, when they are sung, last for quite a long time, like 30, 40, 45 minutes. And it's very, very rare nowadays that people are taking this repertoire, because, Machault is known for the amateur of classical music or ancient music repertoire. And so you will go to the festival of ancient music and you will perform something. But generally, people like to have this kind of programme à la carte with a lot of different pieces.
I like that.
And I like that too. But then when you have these very long pieces for 40, 45 minutes, it's very rarely programmed, because people sometimes also are a bit scared. What, a song that lasts 40 minutes? What is it? And but I thought it was extremely beautiful music, extremely obscure, because very not known at all. And so I tried to go into it and to dig it and try to find things.
But then we fall into the usual problem of medieval music, which is that we have very little information about how it was performed, to whom, with which instruments, which tempo. And as you said, Machault, he composed that. He wrote a melody to the song.
Yeah.
But we didn't just hear you sing. We also heard you play an instrument, which we
Yeah.
will talk about. But
Yeah.
we're not really sure that he
Mm.
actually played an instrument. And another thing that is very interesting to me and very modern in a way is that we don't even know if this music was meant to be performed to an audience.
Yes.
So when we think about this very crucial time in history, in European history, the turn of the Renaissance, where suddenly artists are doing art for art's sake and not just because of representation of religious institutions, of power,
Political.
reporting the news.
Mm.
So this is sort of, this could be both art and psychanalytic in a way, because maybe you will tell us a little bit about what the song is about.
Well, the song is about the poet who is composing a song having in image the lady he loved deeply, and although he didn't say yet that he loved her deeply, so he didn't make yet his declaration to the lady. But the thing is that the song is a kind of is summoning spirits and divinities. So in the lay is summoning the spirit of bon amour, which is good love, which could be in the 14th century. You have a lot of these allegories, so it is kind of divine figures that represent sometimes values like pleasure, patience, leisure, and so and you treat them are divinities, and you can have prayers. So it's a kind of a mix. It's kind of a polytheist thing, you know. So you are making these rituals for having good omens. So you are praying.
Semantic polyphony.
Yes, and is in this song is making the kind of a love ritual, not addressing to the lady he loved, but to address to the God of love. And he asked to the God of love to bring in good fortune in the destination that maybe he can tell the woman he loves that he loves. So it's a kind of an inner prayer, actually. And that led me to the lots of interrogation, because generally when we think about classical music, as you said, he has a lot of purpose, like religious purpose, a mass, or like political, like with the royalty, the music for coronation and blah blah blah, etc., or music for entertainment, like dancing and things like that. But we rarely think that sometimes the music also is a kind of an inner prayer, like a meditation. And that's what the poem leads me to the question, is that does the music has always to be performed in concert or for an audience, and why? And I had the feeling, I had the gut that this music was a kind of a music not addressed to a big audience, but rather to an inner audience, like inner divinities or inner gods. And so I imagine him singing alone in his room for himself, very discreetly, because he doesn't want the people in the other rooms hear him. And so that led me to this kind of very, very soft vocalizing, or reaching something very, very sweet, very soft, very discreet. That led me to a kind of a interesting place in vocality, because it goes very far from the classical range. And for me, in my it approaches it, and I tend to be more like I don't know how to say, because it was something that was more connecting for me with all the new neo folk, dark folk repertoire of American singers. Or I remember, but I never listened
Thor
that.
Lundvall? Maybe something like Thor Lundvall?
Yeah, Thor Lundvall, or in a way that's absolutely not the sweet. I'm not talking about the sweet vocalization, but what energy you can bring. I was a huge fan of Scott Walker and the late Scott Walker, and like
Drift.
for me the absolutely masterpiece of Tilt of this album. That was for me absolute. I was thinking about. I listened at the time in the 90s a lot of Mark Edsel albums, like a kind of a very, American folk or English folk or Marianne Hampton, this kind of singers. And and also I love very much sometimes when Bob Dylan are making these very long ballads of 18 minutes. It's very and recently maybe my big crush was from Richard Dawkins, like the English musician.
Yeah. I saw him in Bristol
Yeah, I think he's a
in
fantastic musician,
November.
and he
Very
has
fun guy as well.
yes, and musically, I love this guy. I mean, like, he's very for me like the spiritual son of Robert Wyatt. I mean, in the vocality and the way he composed music, but also Wyatt was a huge influence on me for a very long time. And Richard Dawkins, he has this ballad on the album, on one of this last album called The Hermit. And The Hermit is a ballad of 43 minutes. And I said, hell yeah, that's very good. Also,
So
so
that gave you some courage to do that, maybe?
yeah, maybe a sense of community. So I
Mm.
say it, and I think it's important today to. It's not like I'm maybe I start to be an old schmuck and think yeah everything goes too fast, etc. That's the zeitgeist, and that's the thing of our era, that things are going fast. I don't have any particular problems with that, but I think it's important not to forget that sometimes we need also to have long forms,
Yeah.
things that last for a very long time. That puts us sometimes in the kind of a meditative or like a trance or hypnotic thing close to the way we are dreaming or etc. So also I always love the very long forms in music, and
And we
so
shall
that was the
listen to a little more from that very long piece,
okay.
which is not the only thing you have on the album. We'll talk more about that, and we'll
Sure.
talk also a little bit about what is the music or the instrument
Yeah,
that you use there.
yeah,
We
absolutely.
started almost at the beginning of that long form lay
Yeah, yeah,
poem.
yeah. Very long
So
poem.
you described it very well. Now we're getting to a part where it's not so discreet anymore. It's
Yeah,
like
okay.
growing and growing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
jamais nidrer, car mieux ne puis souhaiter pour si
I wanted to play it a little before that when it gets a little more crazy in the string, but you know I have to go blind in and.
You give me 1 second. That's the call. I come back immediately.
So maybe I'll actually play the part that gets a little crazy.
Dont soutenir me veuille nourrir, là me tire la cœur.
I mean, we also have to keep some of the secrets for the people. Like, I'm not gonna disclose. We're not gonna play the whole thing, and actually, then we might mention that later. That the idea of secret is sort of core to the project as well in many regards. Let's talk maybe a little bit about the instrument and the music that you and the idea that you had this score for the song. How did the music come about?
Well, first, as you showed earlier, you saw the manuscript. So what just we have from Machault is the poem and the music, the melodies. So there are 24 strophes and there are 12 melodies that goes along with this strophe. And that's absolutely what we have, but we don't have no indication of how it was sang, if it was sang a cappella or with an instrument, which instruments, etc. Because in the Middle Ages, it was not very important to know those kind of things. They didn't write it down to say you have to play it with them. Only the thing that we know about orchestration and how it's played, it comes later with the Renaissance, with the 15th and 16th century. And it's also interesting because it's from the time from Machault and later that the composers start to sign with their name, also the paintings, because before it wasn't important for the people who were making a beautiful painting, but they didn't put their name on it. So it's a kind of a big shift coming with the Renaissance, and Machault is at the really beginning of it. And so I decided I was wondering what kind of thing I want to do to go with the instrument, and I didn't want to go to a pure reconstitution because medieval reconstitution is something like it's very, we will never know how it was sang at the time, etc. And for me especially, what was interesting is to bring back this music today with our sensitivity of the 21st century, with all what's going on in the world and also in the musical landscape from every places. And so I wanted to anchor this music in just as if it was a song composed yesterday. Because I really think this music is completely atemporal, so it could have been composed 3,000 years ago, or will be composed in 3,000 years. So my idea is that's how I could sing it a cappella, but I wanted to have an instrument with me that I play, which is an instrument that is in itself a kind of an hybrid, strange instrument, because it's not very like a medieval reconstitution of an instrument, but it has roots into the medieval and Renaissance. So the instrument, I can show you.
Yeah.
It's just behind
And
me.
while you get it, like I wanted to say that that's something that always fascinates me in modern music on a much shorter span of time. When you think about house, techno, electro, disco,
Yeah.
when suddenly you make some music that was technically possible to make 30 years ago, but it
Yeah.
wasn't possible to do it culturally. The culture was not yet there. And it's not exactly the same what you do, but almost very, very close to that. Because it still has a lot to do with the music that was done back then, because you have the score that you use. But show us now, please.
Yes, and I think what resonates with what you said also is that I think lutherie, how you build instrument, either it's electronic instrument or acoustic instrument, it's always something that is on the move and always re-actualizing, revisiting the way you are building an instrument and why and how you play it. Or a guitar, you play a guitar like that for hundreds of years, but what if you start to play the guitar with a bow? So I mean, there are some artists that are doing that very well. I don't remember the name of this brilliant guitarist that play with the bow with very melancholic tunes. So I did the same thing, but I started from an instrument from the medieval age and the Renaissance age, which is in English. In French, you say un sistre. In English, it's the Cittern, Cittern. But that was so. This is basically a Cittern. But at the time, you were playing it only with. It was a plucked instrument. So you were playing with a mediator or plectrum, and you were playing songs and doing chords, etc., etc. And for me, so I was interested because this instrument was very popular also in Renaissance, Baroque era, 16th, 17th century, in England, France, Portugal, everywhere. But that's the kind of families of instruments that disappear slowly by slowly, like the viola da gamba or other instruments, like in the 19th century. Barely anyone was playing again, but it survived in some local traditions. So the most well-known are in Portugal, which is the Portuguese guitar in the fado music. It's a Cittern, basically. It's a survivor. And there is there is one valley in the German Swiss where they're still playing this instrument. And also in Corsica, they are still playing the Cittern, and they called it a cetera. And so I worked with a very good friend of mine, which is a lute maker in Corsica and specializes in Corsican ceteras, traditional one. And one day I come and ask him, why could we think of making a cetera, but instead of being plucked, I would like to play with the bow. So have a bowed Cittern that I could play. And then we did a first model, and we didn't know if it was going to work or not, and it worked extremely well. And so this one is a second instrument. So I played it with a bow, which is I struggled. It took me quite a while to figure out what kind of bow I could play, because it's a kind of a new instrument. So, you know, you have this kind of circularity of thing. It's a traditional instrument that is transformed. So it's a kind of a freak instrument. It's a kind of a hybrid. And you have to invent a way how to play it because nobody played it before. So in a way, I love the idea. It's both traditional and at the same time very highly experimental instrument.
Would it be fair to say that this instrument and the music on
Yes.
that record is probably the first real example of dystopian music?
Dystopian.
Yeah, a parallel history of something that could have been, because the
But
instrument is
then-
not exactly that.
because dystopian is a kind of a history that went wrong, and you
Not
know,
necessarily.
yeah.
No, like usually
have
most
the-
literature.
yeah. No, you have the word in science fiction of uchronia. You know, when
Yeah, that's right.
uchronie.
Yeah.
So that was the Philip K. Dick thing. So what if the history made another turn?
Yeah.
And that is something I'm very interested into.
So this
because
is a uchronic music,
Well,
an
it's a
instrument.
kind of uchronic. Because for me, my kind of inner dreams was that at the 14th century of Guillaume de Machault, just after you have all this generation of composers and the style of music calls ars subtilio, and we start to make polyphonic music, but it's very intricate polyrhythm, completely crazy with proportion. It sounds like contemporary music, completely like ligeti or something. And that
Which is very short time in period and almost disappears immediately, because then we get temperated music that like wants to get rid of all of that.
20 years of composition, and it goes really like crazy music. So famous composers like Solage is one of the famous composers, and he has this crazy song called Fume parfumé. So and this kind of music kind of stopped at the beginning of the 15th century because we prefer to have simpler songs. So that's what we called at the time the English contenance. So it was something like you have to make songs, but not so
Temperation, like
experimental.
tempéré.
So you have to temper a little bit and make simpler lines, etc. And we start more with the harmony. And so and in a way, for me, it's a kind of dreams that I have sometimes in music also when I try to compose things, is that how would have been the musical history if we took one other branch in time. It's like also all what I love today also in music and pop or experimental music is all these microtonal experimentations in pop, and for me it's fantastic because it's something like but yeah, we could have had our Western system could have been with quarter tone, third of tones, and crazy stuff like that. So
You know, that's also where history fails us. I remember when I was a teen hearing a historian on in the news talking about the fact that history that is older than 100 years old is not reliable, because the way we preserve history is not fail proof. So when we're talking about music like that ancient, I remember when I started to investigate a little bit Renaissance and medieval music, just stumbling upon an idea that goes against everything we learn about religion. Like Mass was sung in Latin. Well, it's not exactly true. We discovered that the word polyphony in the 9th century actually could mean something different in various locations, where when they were singing the Mass in polyphony, they didn't mean that it was not about the rhythm, it was that they sung it in different languages together, which is something that is completely revolutionary and modern, but that we completely forgot. And there's no trace of that in history, almost.
No, there is no trace. And the thing also is that we come to this kind, or we are exploring this kind of music with our mindset of today. So we are very, music today is very, there is a standardization of music. It's the same pitch. We are, the A is 440 hertz, and the English or American accent is the same, etc., etc. You have to think that at the time, nothing was standardized. So you go to one place and you sing, for example, the Latin. If you were singing the Latin, there were lots of different accents of how do you pronounce the Latin. The French were pronouncing the Latin in the French way. So you don't say the U, but you say U. So and so the German was, and this is and everyone, and of course there were a lot of experimentation or crossing different language between them, and although there were some kind of rules in musical rules, etc., it was very free also in the same time. I think that's why I like also medieval music, because I was young, at a younger age, very involved in free jazz music. I was listening a lot of Ornette Coleman and Anthony Braxton, etc. But somehow I didn't connect with the American history and things, and I wanted to explore more the Western roots. And what I found sometimes in medieval music is a lot of freedom, actually, like improvisation and things like that. So, yeah.
And now we have two French guys talking about how you pronunciate Latin and music from the 13th century that no one knows how it actually was. If that's not vertigo, I don't know what is. We're going to listen to another side of this project, because like you go full way, like in the sense that like how the going back and forth in time, in music styles. We won't listen to the end of the track we were just listening to. I'll let the listeners, the audience, go and do their own research, because it hints at more, at something different that we are actually going to listen to now, because we're going to listen to the third track of the album, which is a composition by yourself.
Yes.
Which so this is again a very interesting hybrid of an album. And there's also the birds, but
yes,
the birds.
Ne sais comment ciel un trait d'oulé pour bon amour, merci de l'espoir que That's what I still. It is spring. Without journey. Time passes.
Finished. It's finished. Nearly finished. It must be nearly finished. Grain upon grain, one by one, and one day suddenly there's a heap, a little heap, the impossible heap. La mort. Ma fin est mon commencement, et mon commencement ma fin. Est une heure vraiment. Ma fin est mon commencement. Les tiers chantent 3 fois seulement ce rétrograde et ainsi fort.
We're coming. And to end up with. No. That's the way we're playing it. Let's play it that way. Speak no more about it. Speak no more.
Ma fin est mon commencement, et mon commencement ma fin. Apparition de l'image. C'est l'image de l'apparence.
Cette bonne espérance.
Et l'apparence, ce n'est pas ça. Œuvre bruyante, faite pour le bruit.
C'est la connaissance
Ne vous y fiez pas.
de la très noble puissance.
Mais toi,
L'amour fine de son âme.
Someone said this was cinematic.
Yes.
When you go through this incredible book that comes with the record,
Yes.
72 pages of documents, analysis, quite approachable, very smart. Also, unfortunately, in French. I wish you did
Yes, but no,
like
There was an English translation in the digital version.
Perfect. That's what I
in
wanted
PDF.
to ask you.
I did the translation. Yeah. I think it was highly important. Yeah.
Because sometimes, when people like they buy like Blu-rays and all that, in French we have this expression called an appareil critique.
Yes. Yeah.
This is an appareil critique, a critical tool to not. You don't need this to understand and to feel strongly about the music, but like this will make you feel smart and also teach you stuff in a very simple way, but also very focused way. And there's obviously parallels with cinema. Before we did, I started the stream. We talked for 5 minutes, and we talked about an old mythical series of CDs in France, Cinéma pour l'oreille, Cinema for the ear. Yeah. There's a lot of parallels you make with cinema in the book.
Yeah, absolutely. But for me, music is cinema is highly important, and actually, I often said my formation in music comes with cinema, with the science of editing. But for me, editing in cinema is like rhythm and melodies. So I really more inspired by cinema than music for making music sometimes.
And now we had like a sort of, I know you don't call it a Hörspiel, it's a variation of that, but obviously
it's a kind of it's a Hörspiel basically.
So it's a nod to
for the radiophonic poems. But I love this word because in German it's to playing with the ear and ear playing and things. So it's really an open word.
But you bridge Luc Ferrari with Jean-Luc Godard that way, obviously.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Godard and Chris Marker, and so. But Godard is for me, as I often say, my music meister. Is my maître de musique.
It's obvious.
And Godard is very for a very long time. Also, how he treats the sound, how he works with it, and how he makes the combination with images, and it has always been very musical for me. So. It's been a while I composed this kind of piece which are for me also very hybrid. It's not radio, it's not cinema, it's not music, it's a bit of everything. And yes, so that's the thing. And so that was the first part of the Hörspiel that we heard, and
Incredible music.
Yes.
Very important project. Beautiful object, a little expensive, some might say, but I don't think so. You get 2 slices of vinyl, handcraft, 300 copies. You got a little secret in it. I opened mine; it's sealed.
Yeah. That's the secret. Yeah. But it's good to show the secret sometimes. Yeah.
I mean, but there's more secrets in the music, so I hope
that
of
course.
Even if
No. I think the thing is that it's an invitation to a circular way of discovering the object and listening to the music. Generally, I would recommend you just start to listen to the music without knowing much about it. That's what I love generally when I come in front of a music. When I go to a gig, I very rarely read the program before. I just come and boom, I just receive something. And then on the second time, I would like to know more about it, but it's only on the second time. So the record is like a bit of a circular way of processing. It's like you listen, and so you will have a lot of questions, or maybe not. And if you want to, you can start to read the libretto, the book, and then you can listen again, and you will have some more keys. But so that's the idea. Very close to the imaginary world of Guillaume de Machault, because at the time the circle is very the central figure of all literature and music. So yes. Everything has a kind of a meaning. Like it's like I can spoil a little bit. The first part of what you heard is sometimes you have this thing with the poem. It's a poem of Machault which says, "My end is my beginning, and my beginning is my end." So he composed the poem also.
There's a lot of ideas around the palindrome concept. You know.
Yeah. And so he composed that, and you can hear the music because it's the first track of the album. So that's why I compose everything interconnected, and also so we hear the poem of Machault, but. And for me also, what I like very much in Hörspiel is like creating a kind of a invisible community where you will make connections. So you can hear Nico singing those song. This is the end, and also she is screaming like in this incredible live of '74. This was the one
The live in Paris. Yeah.
I don't know. It was
With Robert Wyatt and Brian Eno.
It was Brian Eno, and she does this incredible version of the end that lasts for 8 minutes. But the thing also that was very funny for me is that Nico is well known for having made a very mythical concert in the Cathedral of Reims. And the Cathedral of Reims, yeah, absolutely. And the Cathedral of Reims is where the music, and it was where Machault was living. So Machault 600 years before was working in this cathedral, and 600 years later Nico was singing, and so that's the idea for me to connect both. And it's not much a kind of a intellectual idea, but it's a kind of things that if we are combining the music of Machault and the music of Nico, what does it do? What does it does to the feeling, to the so I like to do things like that. It's like
I like, I mean, we've spent a lot of time. Normally, I try to do 20, 30 minutes with my guests. But I thought this record needs that we go deeper. And I thought you were, hopefully, I hope people share the sentiment, but that was quite a lively and entertaining conversation. But Bat says something here, Edward. Most times you start working and things begin to happen. In your case, I suspect that it's not kind of true, because if you think about everything you've told us, the amount of work, of preparation, of thinking behind this project, like this is not something. Maybe some of it was improvised, but that probably took over your life for a quite extended period of time.
I think I like the idea of the multiple circles. I mean, like you have very long cycles of digging and researching. So I think there's one cycle that starts at the beginning of my life, and you have shorter cycle, etc. And you are always looking for something. So the object in itself didn't took that much time. I mean, I started thinking about the album maybe 2 years ago. The lay of Machault, the where the piece I sing of Machault, maybe it's 4 years that I'm working on it, but I'm thinking on it
and building the instrument as well for the project. And building the instrument for the project. I mean,
yeah, but it comes from because I do a lot of other things also in music. So it's like. It's always a kind of a journey with wandering and not being sure, especially when you are looking for something. I didn't plan to play, I don't know, either Bach or Beethoven or jazz music or pop music or things that always have some boundaries. So you are border with not much. You are looking for something, and so sometimes it takes time. So
but
I can
Michael,
say it takes time.
You said it at the beginning that the value of taking time, of long form. I'm just thinking about the idea of you doing a new project, and you just said, no, I wasn't, like you basically minimized a little bit the amount of time and work. If I think of like 100 different other musicians I know, like the amount of time, of research, of craft you put into that project it's an utopia. Like this, I hope for you that you will be able to do that again or not. Like it depends, like whatever you want to do, but like this, for this to exist, like a lot of time, and not just like recording in a studio. When, as you say, the recording was not the difficult part, but
no.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, thank you. I like to say like a joke, but I was born under the sign of the Capricorn in the zodiac, and Capricorn is really related to Saturn. So Saturn is the planet with the very slow revolution. So I learned at some point to take the time to do things and to things right. So that makes that it's less spectacular in terms of career because you are not releasing every single 6 months a thing, but you take your time, and so every one and then you release something because and you have spent time on it. But it's also kind of a invitation of thinking in a to have a kind of an ecological way of thinking also. Do we really need? I know artists that are very productive and that's the way they are working, and I think it's fantastic and very excited when they are releasing an album every 6 months, etc., because I know that they're working and they need that in their work. But there is something sometimes a bit systemic that pushes us to exist all the time and release album again and again and again. And I think there's a lot of people who are artists, but we could extend out of the arts, but I think a lot of people are struggling with it. So it's also a kind of invitation that if we could sometimes produce a little bit less, but sometimes take more time, I think. And I know how it is hard in this in the economical sense of the word today, because there is literally more and more paper chase. I mean, we are struggling for having a living, to pay the rent and the bills, etc., etc. So it's very, but I think this is a very important question in the equation that occurs to us, I mean, universally today. And but it's a kind of a modest contribution to this vast, question.
Thank you for your words, for your time.
A pleasure. Thank you for the invitation and all the kind words of the community I was reading. Thank you very much. Yes.
I hope that the people who catch this not during the live streaming right now will leave comments and let us know what they thought. And I'll put the link after the stream of where you can order the record directly from the labels.
Yeah.
As this is a co-release between the more famous Sub Rosa in Belgium, but also a French label that is also an editor of books and something very esoteric and very exciting.
Handcrafted objects, very beautiful. Yeah, total records. Yes.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about that. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hope we hear from you. I want to say soon, but I also want the result to be as magnificent. So
yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now we'll go back to also the past, not as distant and not as transcendental, but maybe, who knows? Depends on where you're coming from and what your culture is. So thank you, Michael, and
thanks.
Leave a like to the stream, leave a comment if you haven't watched it live, and support your DJ of the night through the coffee jar if you haven't already and if you can. That's how this can happen almost every week and more so. And now we'll get on midnight, so party time. Bye-bye, Michael.
Bye.
nasenga tobela okondima ngai nakotambwisa yo moto po yo ndima buji ya motema ngalula lala ponginga nasenga tobela okondima ngai nakotambwisa yo moto po yo ndima buji ya motema ngalula.
Dr. Nico. Triple LP anthology of 7 inches on Fiesta, all these labels from the Belgium Congo. Triple LP. An unsung guitar player from Africa, probably the best. Some people called him the best guitar player from Africa. For you to know, for you to decide. Cheers, guys. Oh, that sound. This is the Dr. Nico sound. A little palette cleanser from the hour we spent with Michael and his L'Image project. Yeah, you'll get more of the explanations and all that before Edouard. Yeah, I thought it was important to have him come and talk about the record, because I strongly believe this is one of the most important records I've heard in 10, 20 years. So don't sleep on it. I've been after these 7 inches for so long, and they're not always in the best shape, so that compilation was a blessing. 3 LPs for 40, 45 bucks was like really a good deal. As you might notice, I'm a little drained from getting deep into L'Image, but yeah, that record. I just think that yeah, a little contrepoint right now. We always need that. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah. Hello, Fräulein. How are you doing? So Dr. Nico, I mean, he had a fairly long career. Or more a fairly long influence on African music. Still does. Like, there's a lot of interviews and essays by artists that you might know, like Zazubia, Boni Biake, Jean-Paul Kitangé Mwadi, Liliane Kassanda. Where? Who's the? No, yeah, well. Oh, Charles Mwamba Deschaux. Again, very nice. I don't often talk about reissues, but this is just a perfect entry door to a whole world with a great critical tool included. The next record is the first vinyl release of a cassette that opened up a whole new paradigm as far as I'm concerned. It's very seldom that I'm considering buying a cassette And back in 2020, when this was released, I heard that and I kept it in my tabs and thought like this is something I wish existed on vinyl, like a lot of stuff, but this stayed in my mind. And then that guy or that musician, I don't know if it's a guy, if it's a or several people, thankfully they started to release stuff on vinyl, and I got most of them. There's only one of the records from that artist that I think is but now they just reissued the very first cassette, and that's where we're going next. I would. And yeah, thank you so far to Daniel, to Mr. Zosh, Sean the Vinyl Dreamscape, Revenge, Grass, and a couple of others, more anonymous ones who left nice tips in the coffee jar. Much appreciated. If you haven't already and you like the stream tonight, please consider leaving a little tip to your DJ of the night, interviewer of the night, as I got big plans for stuff to present to you soon. So since this artist has released one of the top albums of last year, 2025, this is his very first effort. I was talking with Magic Berber about it and he thought this was okay, but not as strong as the new stuff. In a way, obviously, structurally, of course. This is the launch pattern. Although this track is unreleased. This is the very first romance cassette, now an album. They did 300 copies of it and it sold out immediately. They're doing a repress with a different color. This is a pink vinyl. So we're listening to two of the 3 tracks included in this that were not on the original cassette. So fairly basic and cheap packaging, but this is kind of the romance way. This hypnagogic stream of waves of washed out synths, or whatever sounds you might think this is a synthesizer, obviously, but deeply cinematographic music. Simple in a way, but also with a strong and evocative power. And also a sort of mystique, which is always nice. This is what launched really Romance. As you can see, that was his album where he used tracks and the voice of Céline Dion. was once upon a time that he gave this sort of music, or he gave Celine Dion this music's treatment. And then there were a bunch of obscure releases. And then he went full circle by making collaborations with Dean Hurley, the musician sound designer of David Lynch. Before I forget, thank you to the Croydon posse who left a tip during the day. Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me that. It has been decided. I finally managed to get through everything, and the winner will be contacted and disclose as soon as I have something to play from that list. But fantastic suggestions. I'll go deeper into that because maybe there might be a second prize, because there were some really fantastic suggestions. Cheers, Endera. That's a fitting pink for such a record. I'll give you the links of the records a little bit. I've been slagging on that. Now we're listening to a huge grail of mine that I thought I was getting twice already in the past couple of years, but it took a little longer than expected, than I hoped. Here's the Dr. Nico compilation. Here is the Romance album, the pink one we just listened to. There was a couple of recommendations that were a bit expensive, but we'll go into that. By the way, I often make the case of some records are cheap, some records are new, so the price there should be when you are actually rewarding or paying the artist by buying his record. And sometimes they're really expensive for various reasons. And often I hear, oh, this is too expensive, this is too much money, and fair enough. But when it is something you want, and you think, I'll wait till I find it on the cheap, You want something when you want it. Patience is not always a virtue. Patience doesn't work for everything. In the sense that some art has a meaning to you when it has a meaning now, which means that if you think you're gonna get that record in a hypothetical future, it's also a very big hypothetical potential, in the sense that when you find the record, if you do, maybe you've moved on. Maybe that record doesn't have anything to give you anymore because you found other stuff in between that kind of make that record irrelevant to you in its potential for you. Exactly, Edward. Yeah, Anthony, I think that's a good point. That record 100% exists in a world where Gas released records, where Leland Kirby, where Thomas Conner, but he adds My Bloody Valentine to it. And that color is kind of making it obvious as well. We're listening to Elisa Batty. Elisa Batty, I learned about her a few years ago as a band called CYB, and Elisa Batty sent me a bunch of promos of the techno they were doing back in 2018-19. It was pretty decent, not necessarily spectacular, but worth enough to keep it and to give it a listen every now and then. So she's Italian, and her real name is Elisa Battistuta. Ebe, who we know as Grand River, has a little project label called One Instrument, and this is an entry to that label series, The Logic of Chaos. Let me give you the link. So this is an album where all 4 tracks are made solely out of one instrument. One Instrument is the name of the label. This is the concept. You make a whole track with only one instrument. In this case, here's the link to that record. In this case, a Fuji Bukin. So obviously a string instrument. The other instruments are electronic. So this was released as a laugh cut. Very limited, apparently only 25 copies. Soundom supposedly had it on order, but they never stored it. They never had it. So basically that's one record where you will need to be patient and hope for the best. Hope that if a copy appears on the market suddenly, tomorrow, next year, in 10 years, this will still have as much meaning as it has to you now. Now I'm talking about myself, obviously. But this is a fantastic record. After, when it was released, and I heard just a few seconds of it, and I knew this is something really special. I think it was 2 years ago someone had it for sale on Discogs at a high price. Again, high prices, too much money, and I thought, it's never sold, so maybe I could get it for less. And I haggled with the seller a little bit, and the seller decided, okay, I'll listen to it again and decided, oh no, I'm keeping this. I'm not selling this. This is too good. So I missed my opportunity by, yeah. By holding up too much. Cheers, sad bums, whoever you are. C'est beau, hein? So this came in a simple silver bag. The only information is on the label. I'll show you this after we played a little bit more of it, like one of the electronic tracks, so you hear the diversity. This is beautiful, so warm. This track is made with a Kawai CA7. And there's, which includes piano samples there by Marko Ivic. Cheers, John Levinson, for leaving a very nice tip in the coffee jar as well. Merci beaucoup. Almost, I'm actually quite close to my ideal objective for tonight, so thank you guys so far. Yeah, it's really beautiful. So I had to be patient with that record since it was not available, but I also had to be ready to jump when an opportunity presented itself. And it did in December. Somehow this Italian record, by way of Berlin, I believe, turned up in a second-hand record store in the US. And my friend Frank GBL helped me get the record. How's that for psychedelic music, huh? Next record is under the radar sort of fusion record. But by now we all know that fusion can mean so many different things. It is for streaming and for download, so there's always that in the meantime, John. Really one of these tracks that kind of manages to stop time, I would say. Isn't this sort of a wintry stream? This is Lars Holmer. Oh, so Lars Holmer Orchestra. Lars Holmer is a accordion, piano, keyboard, melodica. He plays a little bit everything. He's not an unknown name in fusion, jazz, rock, etc. But this track is straight out of Twin Peaks, I would say. Hello, Super Sensible. How are you doing? So, a Swedish record from 1988 had been on my want list for a long time, as it looked like it could be interesting. And then thanks to you guys supporting the stream, leaving tips in the coffee jar, that's how I can jump into it. Support like this couldn't be more. I mean, this is insane. Thank you, Bobby, for a little tip in the a nice little tip in the coffee jar. Bobby Vraden, one of the historical supporters of the stream. Hello, Andrew. Yeah, well, it's been snowing a little bit in the past couple of days. Not much, but it's much colder. So now the snow is here to stay, and it's getting harder. But Andrew, I hope you will go back and watch this tomorrow, because I know you like to be in the moment, like Sean, but I think it was a good one tonight. Sven Arflot on bassoon here. How often do you hear bassoon? So I couldn't have lined this one up better. Let me give you the link to that record. Yeah, there's 5 copies available between 22 and 30 euros, so not cheap, but not super expensive. And as I was thanking Bobby, here's the latest single of Bobby. With his band. We played it a couple of years ago, I think. Lightning in the Twilight Hour. Bobby Vraden, formerly of the Field Mice, and a Northern Picture Library. I think it was not that long ago he released an album that he worked for quite a while on, and there's a 12-inch EP which is sort of a single, but this is the B-side. It's absolutely fantastic. Let me give you the link to that as well. So this was just released, or I mean, in the fall. So ambient pop music. Doesn't really matter what we call it. It's just really, really nice, chill post-pop music, I would say. There you go. Cheers, Green Crank Records. You're welcome. Tip your DJ of the night to them. I know Bobby a little bit. When he explained to me that, or I think so, I might remember badly, but with his Northern Picture Library project, after doing some great indie rock in the 80s, this was his way of investigating the new realms that were uncovered by bands like Seafield. I think this is sort of a middle ground, or middle ground sounds like a compromise, and it's probably not, but this is his way to... I mean, he's had quite a few name changes with his artistic project, and he's not alone there. This is a band. But I really think I understand what he's doing here. It's beautiful. Hello, Ben. All right. Well, I'm in a deep dive into them right now myself. So. There you go. Glad you expanding. So is the sound still okay, by the way? Hasn't it deteriorated all the while? Hopefully not, you tell me. Next record is one of the 3 records I got this year that were part of my hardcore want list. And I guess thematically it suits what we've been listening to and talking about tonight already. Cheers for the man. I love that bands still do 12-inch EPs.
Celles qui vont au bois, c'est la mère et la fille. La mère va chantant.
45 RPM, 2-track, 12-inch EP. Thank you, Bobby.
Ma blanche Marguerite, j'ai bien trop dire en moi et n'ose vous le dire. Je suis fille.
Good job, my friend.
La nuit blanche biche, la chasse est après moi, des barons et des
Thank you, Andrew, for a very nice tip in the coffee jar as well. Merci.
qui est encore la pire. Allez, ma mère, allez, bien grandement lui dire.
This is Véronique Chalot, whom we listened to back in December, I believe, one of her 3 albums. French folklore from Provence. Here she plays the auto harp and dulcimer and some guitar.
J'ai prise, mandant le dépouilleur, qu'il dépouille la
These are
bêche.
2 Italian
Celui qui l'a
partners on the
dit, je ne
guitar,
sais
bass,
que
banjo,
dire.
and violin. Look well, Johan. It's a traditional French song that is not dated, but their take on it is fabulous. The song is tragic, as most songs like that.
Suis la première assise, ma tête est dans le plat et mon cœur aux chevilles. Mon sang est répandu par toute la cuisine et sur vos noirs charbons, mes pauvres aussi crient.
This song talks about a woman who turns into a deer, a female deer by night, to get freedom. And of course that's how she gets killed.
Celles qui vont au bois, c'est la mère et la fille. La mère va chantant et sa fille soupire. Qu'à vous a soupiré, ma blanche Marguerite. J'ai bien trop dire en moi.
Je t'en prie,
et
Guico.
n'ose vous le dire.
This is one of these records that there was an opportunity to not be patient, and I took upon it. And now something beautiful from Israel. Really. I know I've been very emphatic about that L'Image album by Michael as one of the best records I've heard in the past couple of decades. But I'm gonna be emphatic as well here. He is one of the absolute best records of last year, by far. Cheers, Richie. And cheers, that man. This guy used to have a post-punk band in the late 80s, 90s in Israel. Some good music, actually. And then he went on to become a dancer and went to study dance in the UK, I believe. And this is his second solo album under his name. Nice. This is Ohad Fishoff, Witchcraft and Gardening. Yeah, quite a special world-building project here. And I mean, doing music in Israel. He lives in Israel. In this day and age, what are you supposed to do? I wonder how this is the result of experiencing and living our current times that way. Again, music that defies description, category. How is it made? What are we hearing? What sounds? What instruments? Doesn't matter. By the way, I hope that those who come for the music were not too bummed about the talking with Michael for such a long time in our usual stream. I know some people favor this being only music and community, but this will change every now and then like that. And I hope this was valuable enough tonight for those who are doubtful about that format to indulge in it with satisfaction. This was mastered by Yves Demey, who's a good musician who actually released an album on the Otto Lindholm's label, Totalism, that we listened to last year, I believe. Yeah, absolutely. And unless I'm being swayed, I believe the next song will be the last one of this stream. And this is a song, indeed. Cheers, Christopher. Nice to hear that coming from you. Yeah, that was the rabbit hole of 2023, wasn't it, here? Or 2024.
When surveys are made of mistakes I've made, and reputation shake like a hand grenade. Some dead old days I'm leaving behind.
The balls.
Some cold stale pain I'm leaving behind.
Here is Ohad's album here. I believe it's only available on 2 online shops, Boomcat and their shop in Greece. This is an Australian band, and here's the link for that EP, again, not an album, an EP. Found it in Stockholm finally. Cheers, John. friend of the stream Dom, who was here earlier. I believe he's after their album, but the absolute core essence of that band is on that EP. At least I think so. I love the title, 10 Reels and Paracetamol. (1991), 35 years old. So I hope everyone enjoyed the stream. If you did watch this till the end and you were not here during the live, please leave a like. If you did, leave us a comment to let me know what you thought, what you liked, what you didn't, what I missed, and more important than anything, not necessarily, but very useful and important, if you can, like Anthony Rioux here, Andrew Lukoff, Bobby, John Livingston, Daniel, Mr. Zosh, the Croydon Crew, Sean, A Revenge, Grass, Manuel, Robin, Bernd, and Steve Davis a little earlier during the week. Well, leave a tip to your DJ of the night. And that's it for tonight. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you next week, hopefully. Bye, 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 bye.